Hey everyone, welcome again to another Experts Unplugged, the speaker spotlights from the Medical Fitness Association conference, where I, as a fellow speaker at the conference, I'm going to highlight some of our amazing speakers from the upcoming Medical Fitness Association's 33rd annual conference, which is going to be November 1st to 4th at the Baltimore Convention Center in Maryland. So I'm Joanne Newborn. I am CEO of Newborn Evolution, where we transform your organization's vision into real results through leadership coaching, training, and consulting at all levels of your business. So today I am very excited to be talking to Dr. Renee Rogers about her talk, Physical Activity in the New Era of Anti-Obesity Medications for Obesity Treatment. I'm really fascinated by this because I have also been doing some work with some executive directors at biotech firms. And so, we've been talking about this. So it's so interesting for me to learn more about this. So just so you all know, Dr. Renee Rogers is an expert in biobehavioral healthy lifestyle intervention and platform design with a focus on relevant engagement strategies to promote long-term adherence. Dr. Rogers is a fellow of the American College of Sports Medicine and chairs the Strategic Health Initiative for Behavior Change and International Health and Fitness Summit. She blends her background in theater and production with her formal academic training in exercise physiology, behavior change, and weight management to develop and implement innovative health promotion, physical activity, and weight management initiatives that encourage well-being and healthy lifestyle engagement. And to stay relevant in the space of translational wellness, Dr. Rogers works both as a senior scientist at the University of Kansas Medical and as an independently healthy lifestyle and behavioral consultant and strategist. So thank you so much for sharing time with me today, Renee.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. And this is a topic that's, I'm really passionate about and excited to be, sharing some thoughts. And for this upcoming talk at the Medical Fitness Association, I think it's going to be great.
Great. So I'd love to know, what impact do you think anti-obesity medications have on the fitness industry?
It's such an interesting time in general. And I think that, we talk specifically about the fitness industry. I've dealt with a lot of fitness professionals, especially in the work that I do at the American College of Sports Medicine, where they're going, well, that's it, right? These medications are, really powerful and they're really strong. And the reality is when it comes to lifestyle medicine in particular, so what we typically have done with diet and physical activity combination, ways of weight loss treatments, we can do pretty well. We can get about 8 to 10% weight loss in 6 months, which that's nothing to sneeze at. That's really great. And those approaches are so important for the health and well-being as well. However, these new agents coming out, they are quite effective and more so effective. The earlier, we call these second generation anti-obesity medications, because we've had, weight loss medications for some time. But these newer agents, these nutrition hormone stimulated agents are much more powerful. So we're seeing 15 to 20 new agents are looking like even more so than that % weight loss and maintaining that weight loss over a period of time. So some people, I think, feel threatened, and some of our fitness professionals might too, just to be frank about it. And what I think is that that's not really the case. I actually think there's a little bit more opportunity than we've ever had before.
That's fantastic. And so what is an important step that fitness professionals can take in this new world of anti-obesity medications?
Yeah, to simply say it, I think us versus them, we got to let go of that, right? And really, thinking about it. So some of my work is in understanding patients' perspectives, right? I don't think we should build interventions or programs until we really understand how patients feel or what their needs are related to it. And we've been doing work in the weight loss space for a long time. So we've learned a lot, but this is a new age. So in talking to patients that are on these medications, many of them talk about, I feel like I can do it now, referring to physical activity, or, now that these medications are helping me with my eating behaviors, I'm ready to take that next leap. I don't have as much of a challenge with that. So I think feeling like we have to set the tone that to patients, telling them that they don't need these medications, is really almost in a biased way saying like, hey, you can do this without us, or it's a little stigmatic, right? You're not almost considering obesity to be the disease, right? The complex disease that it is. So I think as fitness professionals, a really important step is to pause and say, okay, it's not about don't take those, I can help you, but it's really more about if you're taking that medication, I can also help you. I can add to this space. All the things around energy and feeling better and being stronger, we can work on those things together so you can continue to be successful with your weight loss. And all the things that exercise physical activity does independent of those drugs, right? Get that value out of it. So I think the opportunity is actually bigger than it's ever been.
Yeah.
I think fitness pros just need to be a little bit more tuned into how to navigate that space and have a good clinical understanding of how these medications work.
That's great. Yeah. I mean, when I think I'm someone that really loves fitness. And so it's not just because of weight loss, it's like how I feel, and it helps me feel better. And like you said, have more energy. And I love when I can feel like muscle tone in my body. And I feel like it also helps me to like have a better immune system and all those, like so many different things. It's not just about the weight loss.
Yeah, and there's a reason why we say exercise is medicine, and it's not just because of weight loss. And while I've worked in the space for most of my training in years, one of the things that we've come to know is if you only talk about exercise from, expending calories standpoint, the work that one has to put in to actually expend calories for weight loss is quite high. It can be done. It can absolutely be done. I don't want to set the tone that it can't, but it really turns physical activity and exercise into something that people on this journey feel like they have to do to be successful, rather than this is something that is really great for you for all these other reasons. And you can really make it then relevant for your patients, right? Like if I'm feeling down, like how getting up and moving can make you feel better. Like that's a wonderful, powerful thing that physical activity does for us. Or as you mentioned, your muscles feeling stronger or toned, or all those things are really important. And it allows us the opportunity to, with every patient participant we work with, to be able to have that conversation about what's important to you on this journey. Forget about the weight loss for a second. Let's think about a physical activity strategy that is right and really get into that. I think that just opens up the doors for better engagement. I think better trust with your patients. The whole gamut opens up from just adherence across the board, right? It's a really good strategy for keeping clients in the long run as well.
Oh, that's great. I love that. So how have you moved from working in lifestyle interventions like diet and physical activity to working in the space of anti-obesity medications?
Yeah. Honestly, when I first started in my training, I was an exercise physiologist, so passionate about all things exercise. And you mentioned at the beginning that I was a dancer, so I had this passion for movement, and that's a personal passion for it, right? So when I got into this work, I was really thinking that I was going to change everybody's perspective on physical activity. You first come out and you're this really eager scientist, or I'm going to change the world, right? But it's harder than we think. It's really nuanced. And I'm not saying that I ever gave up on the space, but as I started to really learn about obesity medicine and work with colleagues, multidisciplinary colleagues, so stepped out of the exercise box and worked with dietitians and bariatric surgeons and board certified obesity physicians, right? And really started to learn from them. Once I understood, obesity and how complex it is as a disease, it really got me thinking about, all right, how can we truly bring the elements together in the best way for the patient? So I think my whole approach went from being overlaying a method, right? Or overlaying a strategy onto somebody, and really thinking about when we come together and look at what the patient needs, how can we step back? So when these new second generation, agents came out, I took a step back and said, we cannot deny what's here and what's in front of us. And at the end of the day, if we're putting the patient first, we can see the opportunity that's there. And as you talk to patients and they say to you the cycling and the struggles that they've had over the years and how this has really opened a new door and the hope that they experience, it made me go, okay, there's a good opportunity here. And we don't want them to lose sight of how important lifestyle is, especially the physical activity side. Eating healthy still remains important in this relationship. How can we really bring it together synergistically? So for me, I think it's exciting to take everything that I had worked on, the 10, 15 prior to this, and think about a new way that it can shift and become even more effective for patients.
That's great. I feel like you're sort of a living, breathing example of when Steve Jobs says we cannot connect the dots until after, right? All these different aspects of your life coming together and culminating into this moment. It's great.
Yeah, it's really exciting, and it always also reminds me, it's humbling, I think, and exciting at the same time. Every day something new comes out and I go, I got to tweak and spin, but to be able to pivot is actually a lot of fun too. You realize, how much you've been able to learn from all the different people you've been around over the years.
That's fantastic. So is there anything else that you'd like to add before we wrap up our nugget together?
I've heard so many people. I attended a lot of recent conferences and talks and interacted with a lot of people. And I always hear the term transformative being used.
Mhm.
And I do believe this is a transformative time in obesity care.
Yeah.
And I really hope that all of our behavioral and lifestyle professionals and dietitians and exercise physiologists are thinking about the opportunity that's ahead. And we have so much to learn and lots of research to do. And we really need to pay attention to these patients and what they need. But I think a really great new door is opening for all of us. And I'm really excited to be able to speak to it at the Medical Fitness Association talk, but also to continue to do work in this space. And I hope that others are too, because it's really good time.
Great. I'm so excited. I'm going to try and see as many talks as I can. So I am really interested in this one for sure. So for all of you out there, Dr. Renee Rogers will be speaking on Wednesday, November 1st at 2:45 p.m. So definitely be sure to catch her. And I will be speaking on Friday, November 3rd at 8:30 a.m. I am going to be speaking about creating rock stars evolving into a high performance team. So let's have breakfast, bring your coffee, join me, and I will be teaching my proprietary MLD method to building a high performance team. So thank you so much, Renee, and I really look forward to seeing you in November.
Thanks. You too.